right, everyone, we are going to be talking about the three main needs: agency, bonding, and certainty this week. In this video is about agency, and we are going to use my handy dandy slideshow for this one. So today we're talking about agency, which is a core ego need that humans all have. It's a need to protect and meet my own desires, get my needs met, tend to my own physical well-being and existence, which looks like maintaining a sense of autonomy, keeping boundaries between who I am and who you are. At its core, it's really about maintaining a sense of control and knowing that, like in the sailboat metaphor we used earlier, it's about knowing that I can steer this thing, I can guide my life, I can move forward. I have a sense of control and autonomy. So, when agency is unmet in us, when we feel restricted, when we feel powerless, or we feel held back, anger is an emotion that arises, which is why anger is the primary emotion in the gut triad or the body triad. Enneagram numbers 8, 9, and 1. Anger is an emotion that signals a perceived loss of autonomy, a loss of agency or control over themselves or their environment. And so anger comes out as an energetic way to kind of protect ourselves against that or gain back a sense of autonomy. That's what anger does, and that's why we have it. So that's kind of what I was just saying. It helps us reclaim a sense of control. It helps us gain a sense of autonomy back, which is what anger does. So now what I want to talk about is how this relates to each Enneagram number. We had talked about how each number in the body triad, 8, 9, and 1, all have a stronger need for agency. And how their personality shows itself and develops is around that need in a lot of ways. So the type 8, there is a strong need to assert themselves and maintain control and avoid any sort of sense of vulnerability. This sense of agency that 8s needs, they really move with it. They run with it. It drives them to move forward, to push against life, to protect themselves, to protect others, to resist being controlled, resist vulnerability. That's how this need for agency, in a brief sense, it shows up in 8s. The need for agency in 9s shows up by this need for harmony, this need to avoid any sort of confrontation, yet still keep personal autonomy. 8s will gain their sense of agency or autonomy by pushing against things, whereas 9s gain their own sense of autonomy and control by erasing their own needs and their own what they want, convincing themselves that what I want is not important, so I'm okay anyway. So I don't. It's almost like trying to meet the need for agency by pretending that they don't need it, yet still grabbing for it. It's a very interesting way that it shows up in 9s. In the Sleeping at Last song, who's an artist who wrote a song for each Enneagram number, he talks about this metaphor of another domino falls, and he's talking about, for a 9, they get their sense of agency, autonomy by removing their own needs so that their dominoes won't be hit, if that makes sense. So I would rather not have my needs so that you can't control me. I want to be unaffected by everything around me, even myself, is where that need for agency comes out with a 9. For the 1, this sense of agency is very much directed inward. There's a need for self-control and integrity and perfection. It's this need for agency and control and autonomy, but with themselves, right? It's I need to be good and right and perfect, and I don't want to be bad. They tend to be very critical of other people because their own self-criticism sort of gets so filled up that it spills out into others. And 1s can, I think it's pretty obvious how 1s can seem controlling and can seem like their need for agency is important, especially compared to the 9. So that is a brief overview of the need for agency and how that shows up in 8s, 9s, and 1.